12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Citi News.
It's midday. A very good afternoon to you and welcome to the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. The news is live from our studios at number 11 Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka, Accra. It's also live on all our partner stations across the country and around the world. We are live on citinewsroom.com. Coming up, lack of access routes in the central business district of Kumasi hampers effort by fire service personnel to douse a raging fire in Edum.
If we had access to this very place, the fire wouldn't have extended to this area. The person wouldn't even report to say, I'm in the right of way or sitting in a road. But usually all that they talk of it, they are attacking it. How do we, at the end of the day, let's come to what do we see now.
Also coming up, Interior Minister scheduled to appear before Parliament on Tuesday, March 25, to brief the House on circumstances surrounding the raid on the home of the former governor of the Bank of Ghana. Meanwhile, the minority leader is accusing the governing NDC of human rights violations following recent arrests and raids on homes of former government appointees. Still ahead, Bimbilla Magistrate Court in the Northern Region remand 2 suspects in police custody for allegedly killing cattle belonging to herdsmen in the area. And later, Ghana's Black Stars in action tonight against Chad for 2026 World Cup qualifiers.
It's about playing together. I know that Chad is not a top team, but believe me, it's not going to be easy. And we need all the support we can get. And the boys, I mean, everybody knows that they can do it.
All that and more on Citi Prime News, which is live on all affiliates across the 16 regions of the country. In the Western region, this is Ajunpa 100.7 in Takwa, Beach FM 105.5 in Takrady, Sky Power 93.5 also in Takrady. Bono region, this is Greener FM 95.9 in Sunyai. Ashanti region, Focus FM 94.3 on KNUST campus in Kumasi. Orange FM 107.9 also in Kumasi. Volta region, we are listening to us on Revival FM 99.3 in Tajo, VOV Radio 95.7 in Hohoi. Northern region, Radio Bimbilla 91.9 in Bimbilla. Upper East, Quality FM 88.7 in Garu. Upper West, we are live on Tunsong FM 97.3 in Wa and Jrapa FM 96.1 in Jrapa.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Grateful for staying with us. Let's begin the bulletin from the Ashanti Regional Capital, where firefighters are struggling to bring under control fire at the Edum Market in Kumasi Central Business District, which has destroyed several shops and properties. The blaze, which started in the early hours of today, is spreading rapidly, causing extensive losses for business owners. Highly combustible materials stored in many shops fueled the fire, making it difficult for firefighters to contain it immediately. The affected section of the market, a hub for second-hand clothing vendors, seamstresses and watch repairers, has suffered significant damage. Ashanti Regional Fire Service Commander ACFO2 Peter Tete told Citi News that restricted access due to obstructive structures hindered firefighting efforts.
The fire started from behind the building, yes, and accessibility was a problem. Yes, so they started tackling the fire. They called 4 other pumps, so that is 5 pumps. Then the army one came. Later 2 tankers also came to support. So the fire is so complex. The fire, the combustibles are made up of different cargoes. You meet somebody in a store who sells different items. Yes. So that made the fire very complex. We try our best. You know, the frontage, the first building on the front has been extinguished now or under control. We are left with behind. Our tenants are behind there. Accessibility is a problem.
Ashanti Regional Fire Service Commander ACFO 2 Peter Tete. Now, the Ashanti Regional Director of NADMO, Frank Kojo Dodu, also attributed the extent of damage to the indiscriminate step up of shops by traders.
There are aspects that we need in all these that we do. But the unfortunate thing is, you will come, then you continue to see the encroachment day in and day out. People are doing it overnight. When you come, touch one, you touch all. And at the end of the day, they will tell you that you are insensitive. But they do forget, should there be any issue like what we are witnessing now, that is the result that we are going to have. So these are things that we have been pushing always. But the fortunate thing is, we have city engineers, we have the other authorities that need to take that action step by step. If those things are not done, and you come to the extent of fighting fire and extent of we managing disaster issues, it becomes a difficult situation. The engineers and the various market authorities have to be up and doing it and make sure access road is an access road. They are not just there for fun. They are there for emergency situations. They are there for them to offload heavy duties and all their work. Then leave the road ajar so that in case of anything, we could come in at any point in time. If we had access to this very place, the fire wouldn't have extended to this area.
So it's a multifaceted issue. So you mentioned about the traders. That can be blamed on attitude. You mentioned about so from where you sit, is it a lack of political will to deal with this or just attitude of the people?
Let's put it all together. Why do I say so? Because you have somebody that you go, then the call goes to a different end, then people will be calling for you to stop. The people will be asking you. In situations like they don't give you the right. The person wouldn't even report to say, I'm in the right of way or sitting in a road. But usually all that they talk of it, they are attacking it. How do we eat? At the end of the day, let's come to what do we see now. This is the question that we need to ask. How do they eat? Because looking at the situation now, it's not when you have the work, then when you are located at a specific place that you could trade. And the fortunate thing is, Kumasi, the central business has been a central attraction. People are coming from all sorts of areas.
Ashanti Regional Director of NADMO, Frank Kojo Dodu. Let's go on the phone lines and speak to our Bureau Chief for the Middle Belt, Hafiz Tijani. Hafiz, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for your time. Now, is the fire still on as we speak?
Exactly, the fire is on at one of the buildings where the fire officers are still making enough concentration to try and control the situation. But what is hindering the effort is the access. That is one. And the second thing is the smoke, the thick smoke that is not giving way to visibility. It's also a challenge for the fighting efforts by the fire service. We had about 3 tenders that came. They tried their best to bring the situation under control, but they were out of water. They have gone back to refill. Currently, we have 1 tender that is currently stationed there, and the fire officers are concentrating to bring down the situation. But the access to the main area where the fire is happening, it's hindering their efforts. It's not so easy for them to be able to get to the fire is raging to bring the situation under control. And we are told that building, the floor is used as warehouses, and the materials that are contained in these areas there are presence of combustibles in these warehouses. So that is making it so difficult, and it is intensifying the fire that is raging currently. But the fire officers are still making efforts, although their effort is not so hard. It's very difficult for them because of the access.
Now, speaking of fire service officers, we understand a couple of them have been injured. Do you have any information on that?
Well, we are told that one of the fire officers and then one civilian were injured, were taken to the hospital. That confirmation we had from the PRO of the Ghana National Fire Service in the region. And he says that one of their officers has been injured. One civilian has also been injured. He was at a place where the debris fell and then hit him, so he had some injuries. And they were both rushed to the hospital. But we don't know if the numbers are up, and we are yet to also get an update on their current condition.
Hafiz, speak to us. We understand some arrests have been made. Some persons have turned themselves into criminals who are also looting the properties of these affected fire victims. Tell us about the arrest.
Okay, so when the fire was raging, the adjoining shops owners came in to at least remove some of their wares, evacuate them to a safe location. So some of these people tried to also loot, and the presence of the police helped to the people there helped to arrest them and handed them over to the police. In some instances, the police and also the officers from the Ghana Prison Service had come in to try to pick up these people. I have seen about 5 of them who were taken away by the police and also the immigration officers and the Ghana Prison Service officers who were there. But we don't know if they have been taken to the police station, whether they are going to be charged or they were just being taken away from the scene so they can scare them. But we are yet to get an update from the police on what will happen to these persons.
Briefly before you go, we understand the regional minister was there briefly. What did he say when he came around?
So in the morning, Dr. Frank Amwakohene came in the company of the members of the Regional Security Council. So he took briefing from the regional police and also officers from the national security. They were there to help the police in their firefighting efforts. So he took some briefing. We tried to engage the regional minister, but he declined. He said that he would want to be briefed properly on the situation before he would have a word with us. But he left the thing.
Grateful for your time. Hafiz Tijani is our bureau chief for the Middle Belt, bringing us up to speed on a raging fire in the Central Business District of Kumasi. Now, a former Director General of the National Service Authority, Osei Enchi, has been invited for questioning by the National Investigations Bureau. Sources tell Citi News he was invited yesterday in the company of his lawyer in connection with an ongoing probe into the ghost names scandal at the authority. We are joined in studio by my colleague Sami Wiafi. Sami, thank you so much for your time.
Hi, Howard. Good afternoon.
What more are we picking up in regards to the invitation to the former NSA boss?
He's a third to be invited by the National Investigative Bureau in relation to the National Service scandal. Remember when President John Mahama addressed the nation, the State of the Nation address, indicated that he's given the security authorities the power to investigate this matter, and all persons involved would be invited for questioning. And he's a third. Remember, the first individual who was invited to appear before the Investigative Bureau was Ohinijan, who was the Deputy Director. The Gifty Owari was also invited, and so SCB becomes the third, official or former official to serve at the National Service Authority to be invited for questioning. Now, it is unclear whether he was released yesterday or he's still in the custody of the National Investigative Bureau. His lawyers, will not confirm or deny his whereabouts as we speak now, but he was invited yesterday, Thursday, to appear before NIB. He did go in there with his lawyer. He was questioned for several hours in connection with the National the National Service Authority scandal, which everyone knows about. And so as we speak now, we do not know whether he's been released or he's still in the custody of the National Investigative Bureau.
Very well. Thank you so much, Samiria. We'll keep an eye on this particular development and bring you more as and when we have it. You are still listening to the City Prime News on 97.3 City FM. Still ahead, Ghana's Black Stars in action tonight against Chad for 2026 World Cup qualifiers. We have details of that and other stories coming up shortly. Please don't go away.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Get ready as we take you back to your roots to experience the food, music, dance, games, and many more at the Back to Your Village Food Festival. The dates are 29th and 30th of March 2025. Time is 10 a.m. right through to 6 p.m. each day. The venue, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, AMA. Follow our Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM social media handles for updates with the hashtag Back to Your Village. Entry is free, so see you there. The Back to Your Village Food Festival 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 City FM and is proudly sponsored by Gino, Koa Natural Cocoa Fruit Juice, Pan-African Savings and Loans, Tibu Water, Trillium Industrial Company Limited, and Contract Cleaners Association of Ghana.
Yeah, welcome back. This is the City Prime News on 97.3 City FM. Let's do some other stories now. And the Bimbilla Magistrate Court in the Northern Region has remanded 2 suspects into police custody for allegedly killing cattle belonging to herdsmen in the area. This is to allow the police complete their investigations. The suspects have been charged with 2 counts of possession of firearms without lawful excuse and cruelty to animals. Their lawyer pleaded for bail, but the judge denied the request, emphasizing the gravity of the case and urging the police to expedite their investigations. In an interview with Citi News, the Fulbe spokesperson Mohammed Yahaya said the community welcomed the ruling.
Oh, I'm okay because so far as the prosecutor said, he said they need time for investigation. So I'm okay because if time is given, and they should also do their work, I'm sure it's okay. If by the end of the day, we all get justice to be said.
He added that over 400 cattle could not be accounted for and 1 more person had been killed.
And as we speak now, they killed 1 Alaji. He's currently at Salga Hospital. So they killed many cattle and also burned down houses, over 20. So I can't tell the total number of animals that are killed, but I can, they told us so far the animal that they sent yet, over 400 animals. I have somebody here who complained yesterday of 160. I have somebody who complained of 140, 138, and others are still coming up with complaints.
You had the spokesperson for the Fulbe community in Bimbilla, Mohammed Yahaya. The suspects are to reappear in court on March 26, 2025. The minority leader, Alexander Peña-Markin, has accused the governing National Democratic Congress, NDC, of human rights violations following recent arrests and raids on the homes of former government appointees from the Nana Akufo-Addo administration. In a post on his X social media platform, the Afutu MP disclosed that the former Director General of the National Signals Bureau, Kwabena Edubuahin, was picked up by armed men at around 9:47 p.m. at the Kotoka International Airport and taken to an unknown location. His arrest follows recent national security raids on the homes of former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and former Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Ernest Addison. My colleague Jude Duncan has excerpt from the statement released by the minority leader Alexander Peña-Markin.
Upon his arrival at the CIP, he went through immigration formalities while patiently waiting in the lounge for his baggage. An immigration officer informed him that there was an issue with his name that needed to be rectified at the main office in the Terminal 3 departures. He was told that he needed to have a discussion with the immigration boss. Mr. Edubuahin willingly followed the officer to the immigration office at the Terminal 3 departures. At about 10 minutes, he was informed that he was on Yoko's stop list and was wanted accordingly. Deputy Director of Yoko, Raymond Archer, who was was personally present along with his team, then handcuffed Mr. Bohene at the departures area and escorted him through the airport departure hall with approximately 6 officers. He was pushed into a white Nissan Navara pickup with registration number GN 885022, accompanied by fully armed men. Another Navara pickup and a white Toyota Corolla also escorted him. At about 9:47 p.m. he was whisked away to an unknown location.
Excerpt of a statement released by Minority Leader Alexander Penyamakin on his X social media platform. Meanwhile, the Interior Minister Mohammed Mubarak Muntaka is scheduled to appear before Parliament on Tuesday, March 25, to brief the House on the circumstances surrounding the raid on the residence of former Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Ernest Addison. The operation, led by Richard Jakpa, Director of Special Operations at the National Security Secretariat, involved about 20 armed men. The minority in Parliament has alleged that money and jewellery were stolen during the raid. Presenting the business statement for the week, Deputy Majority Leader Kweku Rickett-Hagan announced that the Interior Minister would provide lawmakers with details on the matter.
Mr. Speaker, to go back on a Tuesday, Mr. Speaker, the committee has also scheduled the Minister of Interior to come to the House and brief us on Tuesday, the 25th of March, 2025, on the circumstances leading to the raid of the residence of the former Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, on Wednesday, the 19th of March.
The Deputy Majority Leader also announced that the Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Johnson Esiama, will brief the House on Wednesday, March 26, on the circumstances leading to the collapse of some banks and financial institutions from 2013 to 2024.
On Wednesday, the 26th of March 2025, there will be a committee of the whole. The Governor of the Bank of Ghana will come to brief the House on the circumstances leading to the collapse of the bank, of some banks and some financial institutions from 2013 to 2024.
That was the Deputy Majority Leader Kweku Rickett-Hagan. Now, the first Deputy Minority Whip, Habib Idrisu, however, described the proposed briefing by the Governor of the Bank of Ghana as unnecessary, considering the legal action taken on the matter.
The Governor of Bank of Ghana to brief the House on the circumstances leading to the collapse of the banks and other financial institutions from 2013 to 2024. So, Mr. Speaker, I think this part of the business statement is actually completely unnecessary, and I don't think that we will need that, and we will be interfering in so many things.
First Deputy Minority Whip Habib Idrisu, a Deputy Director of the Electoral Commission in charge of research, Fred Tete, is urging the Ministry of Local Government and other relevant bodies to establish a set of criteria for selecting metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives. This call follows concerns raised by stakeholders regarding the underwhelming performance of MMDCs nationwide. Speaking on the City Breakfast Show earlier today, Fred Tete stressed the need for stakeholder engagement in implementing robust selection criteria for MMDCs. Thus, he believes will ensure optimal performance, driving growth and development in the process.
I don't think selection will be the best. Because selection, when you select people, whoever is going to select people or appoint those people, they will owe their allegiance and whatever to that person. The best way to go, like you're saying, I made mention of the fact that even if we are not getting competent people across board, we will get specific competent people coming out to be elected in certain assemblies, and people will be looking up to them. There was going to be a competition among districts that are clean, districts that are doing very well, and people will be looking to them. So you may not get competent people across board, but with elections, you will get, just like you do for the MPs. When I give you the list of you selecting your best MPs, you will come out to specific names for discussion. And in terms of the criteria, we should be able to sit down with the Institute of Local Government, come out to something, and then that should be the basis for electing people as DCs and probably even assemblymen.
Deputy Director of Research at the Electoral Commission, Fred Tete. The Ghana Journalists Association has commended the restoration of communication between the media and the Ghana Police Service. The Inspector General of Police, Christian Tete Yohunu, lifted the communication embargo previously imposed on police spokespersons yesterday. In an interview with Citi News, GJA Public Affairs Director Rebecca Ekpe stated that this move would decentralize information flow within the police service. She indicated that restricting information to the police headquarters had limited media access to key updates, fostering misinformation and disinformation.
Well, we would describe the whole procedure in the past as centralization of information, which a lot of our rank and file, our leadership within the regions had been complaining about heavily based upon the reports that have been coming in from the regions whilst the journalists had been working. So yes, it was a very difficult time, and we had been engaging the police in the past leadership about this. We got some breakthrough, but didn't last for very long. So this is fact what we have right now from IGP Christian Tete Yohunu, reactivating or decentralizing communication. For me, it's very important because if you decentralize a communication, you are decentralized information flow. And decentralization of information is very, very critical so that we would also reduce the issues of speculation and misinformation.
That was the Public Affairs Officer for the Ghana Journalists Association, Rebecca Ekpe. Now, Black Stars head coach Otto Addo is chasing a third victory in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers, having already triumphed over Mali and the Central African Republic. Tonight, he faces Chad, a nation ranked 176th in the latest FIFA rankings and winless in Group I. Can Otto Addo make it 3 wins from 3 at the Accra Sports Stadium? City Sports' Gabi Ofer has more.
The Black Stars of Ghana and Chad faced off tonight in their first ever competitive meeting, a critical Group I clash in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers at the Accra Sports Stadium. For the Black Stars, it's a must-win game as they hunt for a 4th victory, which will lift them to 12 points and the top of Group I. Chad, meanwhile, desperate to secure their first win in the group, having struggled throughout the campaign. Ranked 176th in the world and 48th in Africa, Chad have managed just 3 victories since 2019, underscoring their underdog status. Despite their lowly ranking, Ghana's coach Otto Addo isn't taking them lightly, describing the match as a challenging task ahead.
It's not only me, it's not about only me. So when we win, we all win, and when we lose, we all lose. I really like to to say sorry for what happened. I think, especially in the home games, everybody saw that the most important thing which was missing was the goals. And for this, it's about playing together. I know that Chad is not a top team, but believe me, it's not going to be easy. And we need all the support we can get. And the boys, I mean, everybody knows that they can do it.
Ghana's Black Stars endured a winless run during the 2025 AFCON qualifying campaign, ultimately missing out on the sport in the tournament. However, with the 2026 FIFA World Cup on the horizon, Coach Otto Addo and his players know that they cannot afford to miss the global stage. This sentiment was echoed by Ernest Henry Nogbe, chairman of the Parliamentary Select Committee for Youth and Sport, who emphasized the importance of securing qualification.
The 278 MPs, 278 constituencies, members of those constituencies will be at the stadium to cheer you. We know Ghana is a football-loving country, and we are all yearning to go to US, Mexico, and then Canada next year. We want to play the final in US, yes, which we are very much hopeful. Yes, we are playing finals in the US.
Coach Otto Addo is set to field a full-strength squad tonight as Ghana take on Lesar of Chad in the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers at 7 p.m. The Black Stars are widely regarded as overwhelming favourites to secure a convincing victory at the Accra Sports Stadium.
The report was put together by Citi Sports, Gabi Ofe, and there will be live commentary on 97.3 Citi FM. Build up to the game starts at 6:30 p.m. with live radio commentary at 7 p.m. And that's how we end today's edition of the Citi Prime News, which has been live from our studios in Adabraka, Accra. Please log on to citinewsroom.com for more stories. I am Hawa Idrisi Mustafa. Have a great weekend.
Citi News. We speak first. Reach our hotline on 0302